Hi guys, we're going on the Canada geese hunt like I promised, just loading up the game. I'm going to be setting my timer once we're in the game. And I'm going to set the timer. I'm on my Canada geese set up in Hirschfelden. I'm going to set this for 50 minutes. Just quickly go through my setup with you. I've got my engraved side-by-side shotgun. I've got my 10 gauge lever action standard. I got my faithful 30R over and under break action rifle wood, which if there's any deers in the vicinity I normally take that. I'm actually going to put that away and I'm going to add a caller, actually, just thinking about that. So I'm going to put my sensor press in there and I'm going to get my deer caller. I'm going to leave my deer caller there. So I've got my dog with me with his camo. This is a male. And my clothing is set to full field 3D sneaky 3D full field camo. When I'm out in the field I'll be green. So and my equipment, I've got my long range caller, short range caller, I've got my flapper, I've got my range finders, and I've got my binoculars. Not necessarily need range in anything because I'm going to be shooting geese in the air, but I've got my range finders should I need to, should a nice little fat red deer come along. And we're going to get started. I haven't got a sidearm with me because there are pigs in the area, but normally if you leave them alone they leave you alone. So we're going to start the hunt. I'm going to load my weapons. So I'll bring up the map and show you where we are on the map. I'll load my weapons. On this setup I have got a full spread actually. When there was a sale on, I did have half spread and decided to get a full spread. I'm going to bring up the map. This is where I used to have my setup over here, but I moved it last year and I moved it here because there was a mission for the Canada geese to get an airborne Canada geese in this area in the west. So I was in the east, so I couldn't get it. So I've got two pig setups, one here and one here. I'm going to do further hunts where we will do a pig hunt. And as I say, got one up here which I normally come onto this tent and then walk down. These flags indicate because there's, if you walk straight down to the pig setup you normally scare all the pigs off, so I normally do a loop round here. That's why these flags are here. Anyway, that's another hunt. Today we're with my dog called Chance, and I just got a call from a pheasant male. He's over there. I've got an actual tower over here which I've put up because there are only set towers on the map, but I put a tower up there to take Canada geese from a distance, distant shots. I got my decoys here. I'm going to call my dog. So I got me I got my full spread here, which if you have a look at the map, I don't know where we can zoom out. You can see it's 28. 28 is a full spread. 14 is half a spread. So yeah, I haven't got any flapping geese, Canada geese. I've just got the normal standard geese. I got 3 ground blinds because I do go out on hunts with other friends in the map, in the game. If you've only got 1 ground blind, it's a bit. If you've got more than them, you only fit 3 people in the ground blind, and that 2 people and a dog. But if you didn't have your dog with you, you could only fit 3 people in. So Consequently, there's a reason why I got 3 ground blinds here. Situated them in a line. It doesn't actually matter how far away the ground blinds are, but there are people saying, oh, it's got to be a certain distance, it's got to be 100 meters, or it's got to be this amount of meters away from your decoys. I'm actually going to call my dog. Come on, what are you doing? He's interested in that pheasant. There you go, he's interested in that pheasant that called from over there. So your dog is quite useful, because he will tell you when there are pheasants in the area if you're going out doing pheasant missions. So he will stop in the ground behind you. And there's a pig. It's a female pig. And she called from... Where did she call from? She called from over there by that tower, which is on the map. And so she called from over there. Oh, actually, she's right in front of me. Hang about. Where? Yeah, she is. She's on a daily routine. This is one of the marble type ones. There is one that's a saddleback. I call saddleback. People call them differently. Yep, she's on a little daily hunt. Going roaming around. They do migrate from one side of the map to the other. Oh, and there's another one behind, actually. Is this a male or a female? You can actually normally tell because they've got tusks. Nope, this is a pair of females. And we've got some geese. As you can hear, we've got some geese. Where are you guys? Oh, there they are, coming across me. See where I can call them down? I have they're broken, so I'm going to go to my short range caller. So there they're broken. So here they come. I normally let them circle about 2 times, let them come down, because there is an envelope, like I said in my other hunts, there is an envelope. I got two in a shot there. 3. Missed that one. So I got a double whammy there, if you saw. I shot 1 bullet and I got 2 geese. There's the one there, and I don't think I'm going to get that one. I think it's too far away, and I'm not going to waste my ammo. You get a limited amount of ammo that you've got, so you have a limited amount of ammo that you press in wrong buttons to put the gun away. You only get a set limited amount of ammo, which is 3 lots of 30 rounds. Have a look in your backpack. There's 30 rounds here. And I've just got 26 left in here. So my capacity of my backpack is only 100%. I've got capacity of here of 19.3, but that doesn't include your weapons, etc., etc. So if I do run out of ammo, my tent is not very far away, so I can hop over to my tent, and should I need, I can get another 30 rounds. So, and this is just one of those normal birds. Yeah, this looks like they've added hawks. That looks like a hawk to me. Or it could be a buzzard family. Yeah, they've added. I don't know. If you try and shoot those birds, you can never shoot them. They're not for shooting purposes. They're just for eye candy. So don't waste your bullets trying to shoot them, because you won't get them. So those 2 pigs that came across with me setting off firing my weapons, they've probably fled, and they've probably fled in that direction, or they fled in that direction the way they came. I didn't see any males with them, so, but you do get red deer in this position. My wife got a nice big fat red deer in this condition, in this location. I've not popped out of the ground blind. I've not sent Chance out to go and get the geese, because I normally let some normally have a collection. And like I said in my other hunt, if it does go quiet when you're on a hunt, use your flapper. I've got my flapper here, which I normally run around like an idiot, like a maniac, and get out of the ground blind, and the dog exits the ground blind with me, and then I run around like a buffoon, flapping. This does help cause the geese to spawn. It does work. If I stop flapping now, I think I can hear some, or maybe I've got. You hear geese in your sleep when you hunt these. Yeah, I run around like a maniac, flapping away, doing my little rain dance, as I call it. Run around, because 9 times out of 10, actually, you jump out of the ground blind to go and collect your animals that the geese that you've got, and you're out there, probably 20, 30, maybe 40 meters away from your ground blind, and what happens? Geese come over. So we found out if we do get out the ground blind, and when it goes quiet, if you run around like a maniac, or even you just run around, you don't have to have, if you've not got a flapper, you can run around. That does help. So what I'm going to do, actually I can hear some geese, so I'm going to quickly pop back in, get Chance into the ground blind. Come on, boy. Get my caller out. Come on, boy. Come in this ground blind. Push to get your dog to come in the ground blind. You push the O key on the keyboard. Get your dog into the ground blind. Come on, baby. There you go. So, oh, there's quite a few here. They could break. Yep, they've broken, so I'm going to go to my short range caller. Excuse me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use my other gun now. Before they land, I'm going to take a few. I'm out of ammo. Excuse me. I've just leveled up my rifle. Excuse me, I had a coughing fit there. I've just leveled up my 10 gauge to level 7. Got a little pop up in the right hand corner, so I've just leveled that up. Gonna have to reload that. Have I reloaded that gun? Yes, I have reloaded that gun. So I've got some more geese coming over. They're a little bit further over this time. They're too further over. Even if I was to call them, they wouldn't come because they're too far over into the next field. We've got another tree line that runs down here, and there's another field opposite, which is this field here. They're flying across here. They're nowhere near my ground blind, so they're going across this way. So even if I called from my ground blind here where I am, they wouldn't come. So I will be just wasting my time trying to call them. So I'll let them be. I can hear some more actually. There's a party of 2 over here. I'm going to give them a call, see whether they come. They might be close enough to come actually. They might not. I think they're like the other ones that went over that way. I think they're too far over. There's only 2 of them. So yeah, they're too far over. Can't get a range on them, but they're too far over, and there's a couple of them. So yeah, I'll leave them, let them be as well. So yes, so this is what what I normally do. I normally come out on a hunt with either my wife or my friend N9MFK, Bo his name is, and we normally come out. Consequently, we all have a ground blind each, so we can all come out with our dogs. Now, if you've got dogs in which is your dog, I don't know whether anyone knows this, but I will tell you, if you've got your dog and nobody else has got a dog, and somebody has shot geese, and say my friend or my wife calls sends the dog to get out the game, the dog tendency only goes to pick up your own animals that you shoot. They do need prompting to go and collect other people's. Now that's a pheasant which is over that way. Over that way there. Excuse me. Gonna have to have a drink of water or open a can of pop. I've got a tickle in my throat. Yeah, sometimes dogs will only go and collect the game that you've shot. They do need prompting. Other dogs from other owners do need prompting to go and collect the game that other people have shot. Now we've got another party coming over. I don't call too early because they might not come down, so I'll let them get a little bit closer, and I start calling now when they're actually in the field where we are, because like animals, they've got to be in a certain area or a certain render distance for them to hear the call. So there you go, they have broken, so I'm going to switch to my short range caller. Let them come down. I'm going to use my 10 gauge again. You can actually put your 10 gauge up and you can actually use your 10 gauge to spot them. So I'm going to take a few. Oh, they're too far away, so I'm going to reload that weapon. If I had my Plinkerton, I could take them long range with my Plinkerton, but I didn't bring my Plinkerton with me today. It's a bit of hit and miss with my Plinkerton because I've only got sight of one eye. It's hard to judge the distance with my Plinkerton looking through the scope. Now you can shoot game without a scope on, but being as though I'm due to going through an operation on my left eye to correct an operation that I've had done previously, tendently do not bring my Plinkerton with me because it's a waste of ammo basically. So we've got a few animals out here now. We've got a few geese that I'm going to get my dog to go and get. Now I'm just wondering whether this will happen because the other previous recording I sent my dog out to get the magpie geese, and the dog brought the magpie geese into the ground blind, which was unusual. So I'm just wondering whether I used my other Labrador, the Fox Red Labrador. So I'm just wondering whether on this reserve, whether the dog's going to leave him outside the ground blind. So I'm going to stay in the ground blind where she goes and collects them. He goes and collects them, sorry. So he's brought it over, so he will bring it over there. And he's brought it in the ground blind again. I don't know. This is not good. This shouldn't be. The dog has come back into the ground blind. So I think developers, if you do manage to see this, I think this needs to be reported. I tried to get on the forum yesterday, and it didn't recognise my sign-in, so I couldn't actually put this up on the forum that this is what I've came across. But there you go. I mean, that is clearly a bug, because that dog should have dropped back Goose on the outside of the ground blind. So I'm going to call these geese. Started calling a little bit too early there, but so I've got poised to, if they break, I'm poised to go switch to me short range caller. Yeah, they've broken, so I'm going to quickly switch to my short range caller. I'm going to actually use my side by side this time. So I'm going to switch to my side by side. I'm going to pick them, let them come down. I'm going to pick which ones I'm going to go for. And I'm only going to get a couple here, I think. Yep. Yep. Only got a couple there. But yes, pushing the wrong keys to put my gun away now. Wrong keys, wrong games. Gotta play other games. Yeah, so that is clearly a bug. That should not be. That dog should stay outside the ground blind unless I call it in the ground blind. It should not bring the game in the ground blind. I don't know why that is. This is a male. It's a 514. Now I've lost, because I've not been playing the game for a bit. I've lost what the leaderboards are. Now, if you remember yesterday, I showed you that if you wanted to taxidermy a particular animal and you've got a PB, check whether that animal is better than the PB you got by tabbing out the game, going into the leaderboard, going to the actual specific animal, check what your personal best is, but at the top of the board it will say your name, and then it'll tell you what you've actually shot. It will list the top 100. Now you can then make a decision on whether you taxidermy this animal or whether you leave it be. If it is leaderboard or close to leaderboard, top 10, top 20, then I would, rule of thumb for me, I would add it to my lodge. I've got 4 lodges, which I will show on a next recording. I've got 4 lodges, but I'm not going to taxidermy this because I think I've got a better one in my lodge. So I'm not going to taxidermy that one. I don't understand why my dog is bringing it into the ground blind. It shouldn't do that. It should leave it outside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to exit the ground blind. My dog exits the ground blind automatically. So what I'm going to do is, I could go and pick these birds up, but I'm going to level my dog up, because each time your dog goes and collects game, yeah, each time you tell it to sit by pushing the Y key, the dog should sit. There are different hotkeys. Y is sit. I think K is down. Yeah. J is come, so if he's at a distance you can call him by pushing J. And you can level your dog up that way. Now we were going to collect these, but I'm going to pop back into my ground blind. I'm going to push O to get my dog to come back in the ground blind. There's only a couple here. I'm actually going to call them down. I'll go through the hotkeys again. You can actually push the V key, and a selection of commands will come up on the V key, but I've got hotkeys that I remember. It's far easier to push hotkeys on your keyboard than try and push the V key down using your mouse to scroll around. I'll show you, they ain't going to bother. They're not bothering. Right, if you push your V key, these are all the commands you can do. So stay, come, which is the whistle, sit. So all of these commands you can do by your hotkeys. So as I say, sit is Y, K is down. I've just told him to go down. Now why isn't he going down? K is down. Down? No? Why aren't you going down? You're already sat, so... Now he's all in the sit position. If you have a look in the left hand corner, a question mark came up. So I'm pushing K and he's not going down. That's peculiar. Oh, okay. Right. Anyway, maybe there are several bugs here. So anyway, if you press U, that will then tell your dog a command which is a flat hand command to go away to collect the game. And she's collected the game. So we've got some more geese coming over. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push E key and I'm going to enter the ground blind and I'm going to call my dog into the ground blind. Come on. There are quite a big party here. So I'm going to call these in. Hovering over the caller for the short range caller. Keeping my eye on them. Making sure when I see where they break so I can switch to the short range caller. Come on. Break. Break. Come on, break. Come on, break. No, I'm not going to break. Ah. Maybe they're on a mission. Just maybe they're on a mission. So anyway, that just goes to show they were quite close, because I like to call them when they're in hot, flying over the field that I'm in. But they didn't want to know. So maybe they're on a mission to, I don't know, gather food, whatever they do. But we've got a party of 3 here. Now I'm going to push my Z key or Z key to put my sunglasses on, because I'm looking into the sun now. So I'm going to see whether I can call these 3 down. So they should come down. Or maybe you're on a mission too. Nope, they're on a mission as well. Right, in the next field, as you can see over there, there's another lot flying over. And as I said previously, if I did call them, they wouldn't break because they're in the next field. Maybe, just maybe, because I've got gamey out in the field, maybe those geese didn't want to come down. Maybe. Anyway, so I'm going to put this caller away and I'm going to collect them up actually. Maybe they're not coming down because there's geese in the field. That's a little bit better. But there are better ones out there. So I'm going to go and send my dog out by pushing the U key on the keyboard. That she will go out or he will go out. Chance, that's Chance, yeah. I was hunting yesterday with a female. I don't know whether I've named her or not. I think I did actually. I think I named her Bella. I'm not sure. So that's an even better one actually. I think 85 or 75 is leaderboard. It might be even higher now. As I say, I've not hunted the geese in a while. Maybe 3-4 months now. So I think that could be a good score. That could be a good score. I'm not sure. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to taxidermy it, but you can actually make a decision on hopping out of the game, having a look at leaderboard as I have previously said, having a look, seeing whether it is better than your personal best, and whilst you're still in the game, you can taxidermy it for 10 EMs. If you leave the game and you taxidermy it, it will cost you 12 EMs. So bear that in mind, because you can save yourself 2 EMs. I'm going to pop back into the ground blind, see whether these, come on, come on, and switch to me long range caller. There's a good, see whether these come down. They have actually broken. I've only called once and they've broken. So I'm going to give them a couple of calls. I'm actually going to switch to my gun now. I missed those. That's okay. I've got 2 more. So obviously these animals that are in the field that I've not collected, obviously I need to collect them, because I collected 2 and those geese came down. So what I'm going to do this time, I'm going to collect them all, and if geese come over I'm just going to leave them be and collect all this game here, because there's got to be at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's got to be a good 8 geese here. So I'm going to get my dog to go out, because there's no good bringing the dog with you if you're going to go and collect them yourself. So that's why you have a dog. Now if you're on a hunt and you shoot for a pheasant and you lose the pheasant, this one is still alive actually. Right, did you see that pheasant, that Canada geese? It wasn't in the dog's mouth. It was hovering over and waggling over the dog's head. That means it was still alive. So if you don't actually shoot the dog, shoot the geese, that geese will fly somewhere, and you've got to try and find it. Now, because the dog's already retrieved it in his eyes or her eyes, then she will not go out, or he will not go out and retrieve it. So I might have shot on this twice. No, it looks like I've only shot this once. Maybe there's some glitches in the game, because I do know when you shot a duck, and if a duck is not fully dead, it will fly off. It will fly off, and you've got to basically find it, or the dog, because the dog won't find it. So anyway, I'm going to go and send the dog out. Go on and go. Boy. I think this is charmed, so I'm not sure. As I say, I've got 2 dogs. Excuse me. Have another drink. Got 2 dogs. I've named them. Right, because I'm in the field now, these geese will go over. They won't come down. But I want to police all these up. So I'm going to get the dog, and I'm going to clear all these geese in the field. I'm not going to worry about those geese that are flying over, which I can hear. There's only a party of 5 anyway. So, yep, I'm going to police all these up. Collect them all. I'm not quite sure what my personal best is on. I think I've shot about 16 on a full hunt, but that's not a full real big hunt. I mean, that was only in the space of in-game hours. I think an hour and a half in-game, which is you divide it by 2, so that's it's about roughly 45 minutes. So roughly. So anyway, there's quite a few geese I've shot here now. I like hunting in Hirschfelden. There's a varied amount of I think everyone's got their own preference of which reserve they like shooting in, hunting in, etc. I think Hirschfelden, White Hart Island are my favourites. I do like white Rhine Ridge with the Dole sheep. I do like that, but because of my eyesight, the snow when it comes from around about 9 o'clock in the daytime, it does a tendency to get bright. So I always start my hunts at 5 o'clock in the morning when I go on White Rhine Ridge, and I normally hunt for until my eyes get tired, because it can get bright, and when it does get bright, you can't see the tracks. If you're tracking an animal that you've shot and you've only got a body shot on it, the tracks are very hard to see. So so I only hunt to around about start the hunt at 5 o'clock and normally end it around about 8:30, around about that time, because the sun does get high and you do get glare from it, but your sunglasses do help. I will be doing some recordings and some hunts on White Rhine Ridge at a later date, but I'm going to do a sequence of content on different reserves, giving some tips and tricks of which I've gathered over the years I've been playing this, and passing on a little bit of knowledge that's been passed on to me. Pass it on, I always say. If you've been taught something, don't keep it to yourself. Pass it on to somebody else who's struggling. How many more birds we got? I can see 1, 2. So anyway, we've got some more geese coming over, so I'm going to leave those 2 be and see where we get some more and get the dog into the ground blind. Push number 4, which I've got my long range caller in slot 4. This is another. Now, did you see that? They actually broke again when I just first called. Now, that is possibly because of the decoys I've got here, because I've got a full spread. They weren't tendently seeing that about the call. They were more concentrated that there are geese in the field, so they're thinking, yes, we'll come down there because we'll have a rest with these. I'm going to let these ones land, and I'm going to show you taking them from the ground. Yes, these ones come down. I'm going to do a little bit of spotting of them as well, because you can spot them with your rifle. Now I've got 2 sets here. I've got one that's landed over the back of me, and I've got a couple that are by the decoys, and I've got one which is, I'm going to point to it, I've got one which is over the other side of that ground blind. And I thought I saw some land by the decoys. So there are 2 over there actually. Just seen another one pop up. Now they will waddle around and they will leave tracks. So what I normally do is I let them waddle around, because you're not going to get tracks from an animal that is airborne, very rarely, unless they come down and walk around. So I'm going to let them walk around, and I'm going to let them lay down some tracks, and I'm going to dispatch a few. I'm not going to collect them, and I'll collect all the tracks, and then I normally collect them, which will up my tracking score. Now I'm not going to use my short range caller. There's a female pheasant here. I've just seen. There's a female pheasant here. She's come in to say, oh, good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Mrs. Pheasant. I'm going to let the geese waddle around and use my rangefinders, and sometimes these geese will rest and they will come down and put their heads over their back and they will go to sleep. But I'm going to let them. I hope this female pheasant doesn't see me and fly away, because if she does, she is going to spook these geese. And what I'm waiting for is I'm waiting for the geese to have a rest and and you can see them having a rest and laying down. I think those over the back there have, but yeah, there. I think they've done a good job on the. There you go. They've actually broke, and they're actually flying away. I thought I was going to take a pheasant there. Missed that pheasant completely, Marvin. You are rubbish. Try to take that female pheasant and missed. And I missed big style. So, I heard something flapping behind me. Yeah. Right, I will just show you. You cannot shoot these birds here. I'm going to give it a go, but there you go. Look, watch. No. There you go. Just to prove the fact that you cannot take them birds. Right. Going to switch to my long range caller. And again, I'm going to get these to land. If they will land, if they're going to come down. They might be snobs and they might be like the other party and bugger off. They have broken, so I'm going to quickly switch to my short range caller. And I don't know why that other party decided to fly up. Whether they saw me in the ground blind, I don't know. But I'm going to let these ones land, and I'm going to show you how I take the geese from the ground. And I get my rangefinders out because I didn't do a lot of spotting of those other ones. So again, we've got a party that's actually that's landed over the back here. So this one is a female, and this one's a male. Now you can actually get a good score if you're doing a competition and you want the biggest male. Let them land. Find out which is the biggest size of bird. The males are normally the biggest. If you've got a good tracking and spotting, pick the biggest male, let them land, and as I say, and then therefore you can actually then have more luck in being close to getting somewhere. That one's coming down. Those other ones, I've only had one come down. And that's a bit disappointing. Yeah, so if you're in a competition, let the geese come down. Pick the one that you want. Pick the biggest one by spotting it. This is another male here. It gives you an average size. It says species, Canada geese, gender male, weight 4.7 to 5.5, scoring 5140 to 5800. As I say, if I was doing a competition, I'd go on and have a look what leaderboard was. I'd make a note and I'd have a look to see whether I could get close to, because this is only an average score and only an average weight. You've got to have your spotting and tracking, well, spotting, because as I said to you before, you only have birds are airborne, so it's spotting mainly that you need to find out which is the better male, and yeah, and you'll have more of a chance by letting them land. It's okay to take them in the air. If you're in a competition, you see a big male, I think the competitions are only airborne, so this one's coming quite close. Don't take the animal Don't take the goose from the ground because it won't count. It's got to be clearly airborne. So make a note of that, because if you shoot a goose from the ground, it will not count. It's got to be clearly airborne. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to whistle these up. Now they do make a funny noise. As I say, I wanted them to lay down a few tracks so I can go out and show you about the tracking. There you go. I got 3 there, and it looks like I've only got 1 more shell left. Aha! So this is where I'm going to go back over to the tent, because I'm pushing R to do a reload, and I've only got 1 shell. Because if you have a look in the right hand corner, it says 1/0 next to 10 gauge bird shell in the right hand corner. I'm actually running, so I'm going to not run by pushing the C key. If you push the C key, you will run. See my little man by the 1/0? If I push the C key on the keyboard, then my little stick man or little man will start running. If I push it again, he'll then go into the standing position. So anyway, I'm going to push the tab key, put the gun away. I'm going to exit the ground blind. I'm going to go and get the dog to get these get this game in. My dog's just gone up. Oh, my dog is called Bella. Bella has reached level 33. So this one is not Chance. Chance is my bloodhound. Marvin, you made a goof. So yeah, Chance is my bloodhound. Bella is my one of my Labradors, and I think the other one I haven't named, or have I named it? Yes, I think I named it Russet, because my mum had a Labrador called Willow's Veers Russet. So I named it after my mum's dog that we used to have. So I'm going to push the U key on the keyboard to get in, go and get these other geese. There's quite a few geese here actually. I can see 1, 2, 3, 4 domes. That's me whistling. 4 domes. There's 5 domes. So you're going to bring them over to me? There's a good girl, Bella. There you go. I'm not going to take any trophy shots. I took the trophy shot of the on my previous hunt. I went to do a bit of turkeys on White Hart Island, so I've showed you how that you can actually do trophy shots by doing the different poses. So I'm not going to do trophy shots, not unless there's a big fat juicy one and I want to keep it in my gallery. So I'm going to go and get these ones. I will do hunts on here, not just for Canada geese. I will do hunts on here, and we will do pig, we would do roe deer, red deer, and I do a few hunts. I'm actually doing hunts which are bird hunts for my content to begin with, and then I'm going to move on to, oh, that's a nice one. That's a nice one. I think the previous one I got from there was a 75 something. So yeah, that's a nice one. So I'm gonna get her to go and collect the other 2. What I'm doing is, you plum, Marvin. You are a plum. You're collecting all these geese, and you want to go and collect these. Right, if you collect geese, your tracks on the geese will disappear. So these are the tracks that those geese were waddling around. So I'm not going to worry about that goose up there because it's only a lonesome one. So don't do what I did. Go along and collect all the tracks for your tracking of your geese. Got another dome here. That first one was a new track. This one here is the secondary, which is a little bit brighter. I got 2 lights on the hunter, mate, and I think that one only laid 2 tracks down. So that's that one. So this one is a new track, as you can see, new track species, Canada Goose. It doesn't say whether it's male or female. So I normally then look around for the next, see where I can see a next dome. The other dome is here. So there you go. I possibly will come across those pig tracks. There's pig poo here. That's that pig, those two pigs that trotted across over previously. This is the secondary, which is a little bit brighter. And that one waddled over this way. So I'm looking for track number 3. My timer's gone off, which is the 50 minutes, but I'm going to quickly release these up. So we're going to run over time a little bit. We're going to run over time by about 4 or 5 minutes. I don't really want to do an hour. So yeah, don't pick up all your game. That's that pheasant. Don't pick up your game, because once you pick up your game, your tracks on that animal that you've just harvested will disappear. So pick your tracks up before you pick the animal up. So this is another new track. This is another new track. There's a secondary one here. I'm not going to worry about those geese that are flying over. So once you've got 3 lights on your hunter, mate, then you've got full tracking on that ant species, on that actual animal. So I'm going to collect some of these more. So there's that pheasant again. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get my dog to collect these, and I think I'm going to end the hunt here. Actually, I've got 4 more to collect. I think she brought this one back to the ground blind, so we'll collect that one up and place that one up. I'm not going to taxidermy it, thank you, at this time. I'm going to get her to go out and get that one. Come on, Bella, go and get those other 3. Yeah, there's one over there, one over that way, and there's 2 over this way. She's just picked this one up. Now this one I might be picking up, and it might be those 2 tracks that I've got over here. So this might complete the 3rd, but I doubt it. I very much doubt it. So I'm going to pick this one up. $65.95. I'm not going to taxidermy it. There is a way of disabling that so that doesn't pop up, the taxidermy, but I can't remember how to do it at the moment. So I'm going to go and get her to go and get that other one. I've actually got a goose behind me. Really? I've got a goose call that's landed behind me. So it's not that one, because that one's I shot that one, so there is a goose call behind me. Clearly there was a ping behind me. Clearly was a ping. It came up on my hunter, mate, that there was a ping. So over in that direction over there, where that goose is, I shot that goose there is a ping. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to crouch. I'm going to send my dog whilst I'm in the crouch position over that area, and I might be able to get this goose that's over here. Maybe. Now I'm not sure whether she will go and collect that. Oh, she is going to collect it. There is a goose over that way. Might go over there and see whether I can actually make the goose fly. It's over in those tree line over there. So anyway, so I'm doing this, as I say, I'm doing these little mini hunts just for content, to help other people out, just for information. If you like what you like, if you like what you excuse me, if you like what I'm doing, please give me a thumbs up. And if you want to subscribe if you want to see more content, well, these have come down. No, they're not come down. They've saw me in the field and they've not come down. They were coming down. So where is Goose? I'm just going to have a quick drink. Excuse me. As I say, I'm only doing this for my own content and for shits and giggles. Basically, if I can help other people out, I will do. Sometimes I do take people out on hunts, but I don't like to be tied down. I like to go out and do my own thing from time to time. But I do take people out on hunts. I don't have a set plan of taking people out, but if people have problems in doing a particular thing, I normally will give them a hand if they're struggling on getting a particular animal. Right, just before I end the recording here, my 17 gauge, if you remember, only had one shell in it. So I'm going to come over to the tent. I'm going to push the I key to go into the inventory of the of this. I have got 10 shells in my backpack. I didn't realise that. I only thought I put 10 in. So there you go. If you do run out of ammo, you can then put this one into there. Cut that one out. Put this one. Oh no, this one. This one is me. I have run out of ammo. This one is for this rifle. Sorry. So there you go. You can put that one in there, because I've only got one shell left there, and then come out and reload by pushing your select section slot 2, and then that will load, and your weapon, because I only have one shell left. There you go. That is now. Have a look in the left hand corner, right hand corner. I've got 6 shots out of 24. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there. As I say, if you like what I've done, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment. I haven't done an intro to my YouTube at the moment, but I will do. I'm new to YouTubing, so as I say, I'm going to leave it there. If you like what you see, excuse me, if you like what I've done, apart from me coughing all the way through, like what I've done, give me a thumbs up, like and subscribe if you want to. I'm not holding a gun to someone saying you've got to subscribe. As I say, I'm only doing this for my own amusement, and to pass on a little bit of knowledge that's been passed on to me. So I'm going to leave it there. Enough of Marvin waffling. I'm going to leave it there, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye bye.